Hi, my name is Jenai Lane, founder of Spirit Coach Training. In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience of unity consciousness and how you know if you have arrived in unity consciousness, and what that is experientially. So I'm sharing from my own personal experience. Of course, many of us have read about some of the great saints and mystics who had been in a level of consciousness called unity consciousness. And that's one thing to read about something and understand it intellectually, but it's a completely different thing to experience, to embody it, and to live that state of consciousness. And, when it happened to me many years ago, I happened to be in a silent retreat with Adyashanti, and it was probably about 6 days in or so. And I had been on many, many silent retreats, but never had I had this happen. Um, and at this particular time, I was in an auditorium with many people, maybe 300. And there was this part in the retreat where it was silent, but there could be questions asked, 3 questions each night. So that was happening. That was kind of going on. And I wasn't meditating. I was a little bored actually at that particular moment. And all of a sudden, the me that I thought I was, the Jenai, the persona, the even the physical body, um, dissolved. And my consciousness was everything and everywhere. So my consciousness was all the people in the room. My consciousness was the sky outside the room. My consciousness was the earth below. My consciousness was everywhere. And there was a sense of merging with all that is. Yet the things that appeared in capital R reality were there and ever changing. But what was in between those things and surrounding those things was never changing, was love, was God, was source, was all that is. And there was no real distinction between me and anything else. And when I say me, the experience was that I couldn't find myself. If someone had held a gun to my head and said, Jenai, where are you? Point to where you are. There was no location. There was actually no location where I was because I was everywhere. And it was an extremely blissful feeling. Now, I probably was in this space for 45 minutes to an hour. However, it has never left me. It has never left me. I can always find it. It's always there. Although I can focus my consciousness, I can acknowledge my body, this vessel, sacred vessel, in which I interact or interface with reality. However, that we could call it oneness, unity, consciousness is always there. It's always there. And it just takes less than a second to expand my consciousness back into that very um, merged state with divinity, with divine love, with truth, with all that is. And so, what I would call that is a more sustaining experience of unity consciousness because it never left. It's never left in the many, many years since I had that happen. And it's very, very separate from the words that I can speak about it or even point to. It's very much a transmission level of consciousness, you could say. So, this is an important to talk about and discuss because people are having these experiences of unity consciousness, and some of them are just a glimpse where you have the experience and then you return to a normal state of consciousness for you that you can't find that unitive state anymore. So what I would call that is a glimpse, which is wonderful. You're shown a glimpse of what's possible for yourself and your evolution. And then others of us will have this experience that sustains over time, over years and years and years, that in fact it never leaves. It integrates in deeper and deeper and deeper levels. And it definitely creates a way of perceiving reality that is very, very different. And I would say from my own experience, different than my previous ways of perceiving reality. So it's much more expansive, less limited. There's much more neutrality and love. There's much more peace. There's much more of a direct understanding that I'm connected to everything, that I'm one with everything, and that it is impossible, absolutely impossible to be disconnected, even though we may perceive that with the mind. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope you can feel the beautiful transmission of unity consciousness. Thank you so much for listening. Namaste, dear ones.